Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Coming to you from our fantastic Central Washington location right here in Cle, Washington. It's been a while since we got here, but hey, we're over here for the holiday break. Hey, about a week ago, I did this video right here, and it literally was not hyperbole when I said, listen, this is one of the most blatant Second Amendment violations in the history of mankind. It's happening right in front of our face, and nobody had ever done anything about it until recently. It has to deal with those who actually have to rely upon government subsidized housing, because many of you may not realize that if you have to rely on federally subsidized housing, your lease agreement will absolutely, positively, and without a doubt exclude your ability to actually exercise your Second Amendment rights. Well, no sooner did we do that video than a real life example of exactly how unconstitutional and how unfair this actually can be. We're going to share it with you, and then we're going to ask you all to help this woman out. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about the woman being evicted for protecting her family. Okay, Dateline, December 14th, 2023, Texas. 25-year-old Aleah Wallace, a single mother of 4, living in government-subsidized housing, had been broken into on multiple occasions, and despite calling her landlords to complain about this, shockingly, they did nothing. Aleah did what every American should be allowed to do, which is she went out, she purchased a firearm, she did the appropriate training, she did everything according to the law, exactly the way we would want her to do it, so that if, God forbid, somebody else tried to break into Aleah Wallace's home, when she was there all alone with her 4 young daughters, she would have the ability to protect herself and her family. No sooner did she purchase that firearm when on December 14th, that's right, a would-be burglar attempted yet again to break into Miss Wallace's home while she was there alone with her 4 daughters. Miss Wallace did what we tell everybody here at Washington Gun Law to do, which is to value your life, protect your life, value your family's life, protect it, because nobody else is responsible. Miss Wallace actually did deploy lethal force, discharging her firearm and striking the would-be intruder as they were coming through the window. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, the would-be intruder was a 14-year-old boy, and yes, he did die. Now, some of you may think that that is an FAFO moment, and very well may be, but we can all agree that Miss Wallace did exactly what we want any mother to do, which is to protect her children with her very life and to use lethal force as necessary. But you see, the problem is obviously this shooting did, of course, attract some attention. It got some news stories, and of course, it got the attention of Miss Wallace's landlord. Now, Miss Wallace, just like the individuals that we talked about in this video right here, and just like the plaintiffs in Hunter v. Cortland Housing Authority, you see, Miss Wallace was forced, extorted, if you would, into signing this lease agreement, which of course said that she had absolutely no Second Amendment rights. This, of course, now is leading to Miss Wallace's eviction. And listen, if you don't believe how bad this story is, well, let's just hear from Miss Wallace herself.
I was cleaning my living room, sweeping my floor, and I heard her window start going back up. So I went and I looked in the hallway, and I could see him standing at the window lifting it up, and I just shot. I believe there were reports that you had been burglarized or attempted burglaries before? Yes, I have like 3 or 4 police reports before this night. So what has happened since this incident? The apartment called and told me that I was not supposed to have a gun at all. You know, I kept calling them and telling somebody who was breaking in. They told me I could not have a gun and that I have 30 days to vacate. And how does that make you feel? Feel like I'm back at square one. I've been there for 6 years. Now I don't know what to do. This case is going to the grand jury. It's a referral, as they call it, and they're going to let citizens decide. What do you want people to know about you, Aleah Wallace? That I was only protecting my kids. I have 4 daughters. It's just me and my 4 daughters that stay there. I just was protecting my daughters.
Now, just so that you can understand how egregious this is and why we should all be chipping in to help Miss Wallace out, can you imagine if your First Amendment right to free religion, free speech or privacy was actually contingent upon your income level? Could you imagine if your Fourth Amendment right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government was actually dependent on what your last tax return said? Well, of course not. That's absolutely ridiculous. And yet that is the exact violation that is going on every single day with every person who is dependent upon federally subsidized housing. Listen, Miss Wallace has set up a Give, Send, Go account. It's right there. We'll also link it up for you in the description box. This is a woman who did exactly what we would ask a single mother to do, to go out, to prepare herself, to equip herself, to train herself so that she could protect herself and her family. She did exactly that. And for that, she is now being thrown out on the streets right after the holidays. Listen, if you want to help Miss Wallace out, we will have the Give, Send, Go link down there in the description box. If you got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. If you don't, that's okay. That information is also down there in the description box. Now, in the meantime, let's everyone remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.